So let's play another base game match. I really want to reach, 1300 again on Catan Universe, which I already achieved once, to be honest. Like, already once on place, I think 87 on the ranking, which is actually quite high because there are thousands of players. But I dropped seriously after that. Really had a streak of bad luck. So, I mean, with 1300 ELO, you're not going to get anywhere near the top 100. You're just maybe around place 250, I guess, which is fine. I only like 4-player games in the base game, actually. I think they are a little bit more exciting. So I'm in last position, which I typically don't favor very much in the base game, to be honest. I favor last position more in like Treasure Islands, where you can choose the best available spot for your city. Here, with only 2 settlements that are equal, I don't know. Not a huge fan of going last. So I immediately see the 6, 9, 10 would be interesting in combination with a good wheat spot. Or with a sheep port. The 5, 9, 10 is of course a very good spot. The 6, 3, 4 is reasonable for building roads, but wood and brick only gets you so far because there are not many attractive settlement spots left anyway. So even if you have a good wood brick strategy, it often doesn't pay out the way you hope it would. Because there are just not enough good spots left to settle. The 8 for 11, maybe. I'm actually more keen on the 8-4 with the ore port. Maybe that would be a combination. Yeah, so the 8-10 with the sheep port has unfortunately gone. But the 8-4 with the ore port is still open. And in combination with the 5-9-10, I mean, that seems at least like something I can work with. In 4th position, you are not going to get dream spots. You're just going to get maybe something you can work with. So that's possibly the best you can hope for. Oh, he takes the 5-9-10 away, okay. I'm really not all that keen on playing without grain. That's not really something I'm hugely in favor of. So I'm going to take the 6-9-10 spot. I'm just debating whether to take it with the 3-4-5 or the 4-8. And the problem is someone is going to take the 6-4-2 and cut me off to the 3-1 port. That's quite unfortunate. Yeah. I'm always going to place my first settlement on the 6-9-10. The question is whether the second settlement will be on the 4-8 spot with some wheat, or on the 3-4-5 where I do get all resources. I can't put my road this way, unfortunately, since somebody will pick the 2-6-4 and just cut me off. That's not really an option. But I think I will do this and go down to the desert. I don't know if this 5-6 is going to be open, probably not. But maybe that 4-9 is available, and otherwise I will be heading to the 3-1 port. Yeah, that was my other option. Would have also been probably a good option, but we'll see. I took the second settlement on the 3-4-5 spot because in general I'm going to produce That's on this spot, so I at least want to start off with it. And I'm going to have an excess of sheep anyway through the 6 and 9, so I don't need sheep at the beginning. It would be nice if this 5-6 were open. But I suspect that green is at least seriously considering it. But he should take the 2-4-6. That's really the best spot for him. And cut to the 3-1 port, which is why I couldn't point my vote up in the first place. Yeah. I don't agree with his vote. I do agree with his settlement. A wood is actually nice because I'm not producing much of it. That 5-6 really would help my game. Maybe I can even try to aim for the brick port in the long term. And if I get a road settlement, I should be considering the 3-1 port and cutting green off. But only if I get like a road settlement in one turn. Which I don't get, so never mind. Now maybe someone trades me a brick. I mean, I can at least ask it. Ah, some issue with my DOS. Please give me a brick, anyone. Not for grain, I suppose. So maybe someone does it for an ore. If not, I will just build a road and buy a development card. That sheep I should get back pretty easily. No, it takes too long and I'm too afraid of losing to the timer, so just build a road and buy a development card. The only product for a settlement that I lose in a development card is a sheep, but again, sheep is the product I'm least worried about. He can place the robber. He should really go on the 8 ore. It's the best spot for him. No, he goes on the 10 brick. I mean, it's fine since it's not me, but it really wasn't the spot I would go for. Yes, I do need a 4, desperately. I'm not going to play my knight, of course, unless the robber is with me. That's pretty obvious, I hope. I really should have blocked that 8. I mean, I could. The chance of me getting an ore is not bad, but a second ore doesn't do me that much. I need 3 ores for a city, not 2. That 8 is really, really bad for me. And green already has his first city. Congratulations. Green is in a very good spot, actually. So now I could consider playing my knight to get that final ore. And I really should play it if the robber goes with me. No, it goes with green, that's fine. He builds a settlement. Okay, can have that. 11, it's wood sheep. And I think blue's only card left should be an ore. I think he traded 1 ore, but he got a second ore. Yeah, so I really should play this and steal blue's ore. Yes, of course. I remember this correctly. So now I should consider which spot to settle up. This has 12 production, this has only 9, but the resources are more valuable, but I still will go with the 12 production spot. Even though many of it is sheep. I still think this is actually the better call, but it is actually a close one. So yeah, I would have played that knight, of course, if I didn't know blue had an ore, obviously. It's another 7 that it's okay because red has to discard, but it's bad since I suspect the robber will end up with me, unfortunately. No, it doesn't. Ends up with red and blue, and he has to steal from red since blue has no cards. Okay, a 9, that's a double production, which is nice. I will probably fall for one another sheep in this game, which is not quite optimal, but what can you do? That's a really nice roll because it gives me my settlement. First, let's ask if anybody wants to rid me of my sheep, because I really prefer anything else but sheep in my hand. And yes, it gives me a grain, which is nice. I value grain a lot more than sheep. And after my settlement, I guess nobody would have done it. So, that's a nice roll. Yeah, my production is getting good now. Of course, I need that 10 to still produce. Or the 3 and 4 so I can build more settlements. Maybe on the 9. However, doubling up on the 9 doesn't do anything for me. I should really aim for this 4-9 spot instead. But blue has the same idea, so I'm racing. That's 3 sheep in a row, so I could at least ask for some ore instead of that stupid sheep. Yeah, I will 4 for 1. Will be 4 for 1 in sheep a lot in this game, but I guess that's the way it is. Maybe I get a road building or something. But it's a knight, okay. I'll take it because I suspect the robber will end up with me at some point. Especially since I produce very much. So that race was already lost, unfortunately. It's another, but blue also gets brick, and blue is on its way to taking that 4-9 spot away from me. Since a knight would now be nice, because, yeah, I can give him the settlement with this trade. But the question is whether that isn't lost anyway. I think it is. I think I should trade. Instead, try to go for this 3-1 put up here. Which is also very nice if I can do that. No, I'm not going to give you a wood. Wood is valuable. So if I get like a road settlement immediately, I would take the 4-9. But the 8 isn't helpful at all, unfortunately. Does anybody want to trade me a grain or an ore? Or basically anything for a soup? Yes, a grain, that's nice. Does anybody want to give me a brick for a sheep? Then I could actually road settle. But I guess nobody will do that. Or wood for a sheep? I mean, I need to be watching my timer, so yeah. No trades on this one, I guess. Just 4 for 1 for an ore and buy a development card it is. A road building, that was the one I hoped for. That will allow me to get to this 3-1 port. Which is actually, I think, what I prefer over this 4-9 spot. Yes, I seriously prefer it. Because I want to 3 for 1 on my sheep from now on. So blue, you're no longer in danger. a brick for an ore? No, I want wheat. I want. So he wants to buy a development card, maybe? Because that ore is not going to help. Oh, he wants to trade. Okay. Now that's an expensive settlement, but it makes sense. Yes. I will unfortunately have to discard a ton of sheep, but okay. It's actually an easy choice for me what to discard. And it's also quite an easy choice who to steal from, because red is the only one producing grain, and I need grain. Yes, there's a grain. Sorry, red, it wasn't on victory points, it was on grain only. Because now I can play my road building and settle on the 3-6. Which is actually really nice, especially since there's a 3-1. 3-1 port for my sheep from now on. So I stole from red and blue once, without it actually mattering in terms of victory points. It was basically purely strategically on products, nothing else. I'm really sorry if red is mad at me. Yeah, I just want wheat, nothing else. That was my only reasoning. So maybe I'm going to get a city next, which I will spend on this 3-4-5 spot, because it gives me the products I don't usually produce very much of. Yeah, I can city up now. Well, maybe just ask. Well, nobody. Okay, but now I at least can use my 3-1 port. And city up this 3-4-5 spot. Which gives me access to valuable other products other than sheep. Now it's 3 sheep and a wood. So I can easily go for longest road, which is another 2 victory points. I can go for another road settle on the 9, which just doesn't do that much production-wise, but gives me another victory point. And I should really be thinking about getting to 10 victory points. 7, so I'm going to get the robber. Probably on my wheat, and I need to chase that away immediately. Or on my ore, which isn't much better. But I think on the 10 ore, maybe I can roll first. Because the 10 rolling is not that likely. It's a 12, so it didn't matter which order I did it. Yeah, I need to be seated for blue, but blue has no cards, and blue and green unfortunately aren't together. So unfortunately I'm against stealing from red, which in this case I'm just sorry about, because he's not the danger at all. But I only can steal from him, unfortunately. So I need to build a road here to have another settlement spot. I don't want to take longest road just yet, since it makes me way too much of a target. But I'm already a target, but I don't want to be more of a target than necessary. I mean, I do have already 6 points, and I produce a lot. Longest road 7-8, and then I don't think I will be competing in the development cards sector. Yes, we can do that if you want the sheep. Ah, nice. He has an inventor. Oh, you have plenty, I think it's called. it's called. I always call it an inventor, but that's only me. Yes, I want an ore if you want a sheep, because another city would also be very useful. He trades with green, which is fine. Come, please give me a 5. Give me that wheat. That sweet, sweet wheat. That sweet, sweet. Okay, I will always take a 6, which produces me 4 products. No 7, which is really nice. I don't care about the 8, I just care about no 7. So somebody want to give me an ore? I don't think there's much wheat in play, so really no point in asking for wheat at this point. Maybe a brick, because blue has won many knights and has no access to sheep. So this is a trade specifically targeted at blue. No, blue doesn't. 7 sheep. Ah, you're funny. You're funny. No, let's just do a settlement like this, which takes me away from having too many cards and brings me 1 victory point closer to my goal. The robber that will unfortunately end up with me, but green has to discard, which is nice. So I will take longest road, obviously, at some point. So I just need 1 more victory point after that. That's not good, since I'm getting all the robbers. Yeah, and the 5 really hurts, because whatever I do, city or settlement, I always need wheat. No, I only have 1 card left. So 2 roads brings me to 9 points, and then the final point I will be getting either from a development card, I guess, or from a city. City is more expensive, but it's actually the more secure way of getting a point. Otherwise, I need. Now, a knight would also do it for me, since I have 2 knights and nobody has a knight. So, yeah, a development card is a good investment at this point. Could also be a road building, of course, in which case I wouldn't need to be building the roads manually. Another 7, so they stole all 3 products from me in succession. Yeah, congratulations. And of course, I don't get the 7, so that I could at least chase the robber away. Everybody gets the 7 but to Vinci. Come, please roll another 5 or a 6. I will take a 4. 4, 5, 6, or 9. I will take all of those. Or 3, I guess. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. That's just quite a range you can choose from red. But red needs to roll. He seems to be away from keyboard, unfortunately. This is really, really bad. And the 2 it is, which only gives green the ores. That's bad. And another 7 is also bad. Because that will only go against me. I really need to be rolling a 7 myself to get that rumble away from me and some production back going again. Okay, you can block that 6. That doesn't hurt as much. But I get a 7, which is nice, and green has a lot of ore, so I should be stealing from green. Because I want development cards. And development cards, if you didn't already know, that cost ore. I don't think anyone has wheat, unfortunately. There she is. Thank you for the wheat. So I should first draw a development card next tournament and see what I get, basically. Maybe I get a victory point, in which case a single vote is enough to win it. Maybe I get another knight, in which case I probably have to wait another turn in order for me to play that knight and get the largest army. But yeah, I should first draw a development card from the deck and just see what it is. A road building, of course, would mean different strategy, but in which case I would still have to build a settlement. Now green is running out of time also. They really have already given up, I suppose. Which is unfortunate because, yeah, that's not the way I want to win normally. A city and a settlement would also, a city and a road, or 2 roads, I guess now. Okay, so longest road is getting increasingly difficult. I need like 1, 2, 3, 4 roads now. Yeah, let's first draw development card, see what it is. A victory point, okay. So, I 3 for 1 for an ore, and hope that next card is a knight, in which case largest army will push me over the top next turn. A monopoly, okay. I can't play it immediately, unfortunately. Otherwise I would play it immediately on ore. Maybe on brick to get longest road. I would maybe want a wood for a sheep. Because I can monopolize on brick and get longest road. I need 2 roads to connect, which brings me to 8 roads, and then I need 2 more to get longest road from blue. 4 roads is quite expensive, but well, if my monopoly on brick turns out well, I just might be getting there, unless blue prolongs his road, in which case I should really give up on it and just monopolize on something like ore instead. Green seems to have also left the game, which is... I mean, this just sucks. I don't know a more nice way to put it. Yeah, so please give me a 4, so myself and green produce 2 bricks, which I can monopolize. A brick for grain. No, I want to monopolize that brick. But thank you for letting me know you have one. And I won't be monopolizing grain anyway. I will be monopolizing either bricks or ore. And 10 it is. That gives both ore and bricks to players. Okay, but he trades away 4 bricks, so not that many bricks left, unfortunately. Which is why I think monopolizing on ore is the way to go. Maybe I get like 2 cities. Oh yes, thank you very much. That will give me 2 cities and therefore 10 points. Thank you very much, guys, and I hope you all have a nice